What's going on, guys? Hope you all are doing well. This is a sad video. We don't really do any of these, but today is going to be a sad video. Wow, where to begin, guys? I mean, let's cut to the chase. Sophia's dead, 100%. She will never, ever ride the roads again. So I was on my way to Thunderhill Raceway. I was in the middle of nowhere. Honestly, really beautiful road. I had my a really dear friend with me, which was also extremely unfortunate. I wasn't going very fast at all. I wasn't like trying to go fast or anything because it was so beautiful. You know, I had a passenger with me who definitely wouldn't like that. I'm on an unfamiliar road to begin with, so it's not something I want to do anyway. I was going around a wide bend, and then there was another bend. And as I came up on the other bend, I was turning the wheel, but like it wasn't really turning. And went off the road, and that was that. It was a cliff road. You know those roads that are like, this is the mountain, and then they just carved a little road in the middle of it. It's one of those. There was no runoff. If there was a car with the runoff, we wouldn't even be doing this video today. So luckily, the side I went off was not the cliff side, thankfully. And honestly, God or someone was looking out for both me and my passenger. We kind of went off the road on the point where the slope was least intense. And then it slowly got steeper, and we stopped on the side, like we were tilted like this on the side, going between 0 and 3 miles an hour when the car suddenly decided to give up. I was looking directly at the road right there, and it flipped over on its top. We both were able to walk out unscathed, very thankfully. Yeah, that was that. I'll be honest, I totally I got screwed. I feel like I got screwed. I asked for a tow. The state told me, you can't get your own. We're gonna pick the tow truck because we want this car off our road ASAP. With all due respect to that tow truck driver, who was in the end very nice and gave me a lot of advice, definitely didn't know what he was doing. The car was dragged a lot. He tried to flip the car by the wheels, so those nice new wheels you guys saw are now completely beat up. And the state told me go F myself, basically, when I asked if I could like put like a rag or something behind it. I mean, I had clothes and stuff I would have happily used, so those are done skis. So he dragged them by one side. He tried to flip the car back over using one set of wheels, and then dragged the car on the side to ruin the other two. So that was that. The only suspension damage was that the passenger control arm, since that's the side that went off, bent outside of the control arm bushing. So aside from that, the suspension was fine. The strut bar literally started ripping the car apart until the bolts gave out. So I think those so the towers didn't mushroom. So yeah, I'm sure as you guys want to know, how did this happen? I determined it was the steering system that failed. It was actually the pulley for the power steering pump that sheared. So I'm not going to show any pictures or anything. Maybe I'll show like a few pictures. And it kind of makes sense. I don't know how much you guys knew, but over 20,000 miles in 18 months, I had a heavy steering shimmy. So all I could think about is that 19-year-old piece of plastic, you know, getting constant push-pull of asking for assist as the wheel shimmied. I did a track day. I've been doing autocross. It's 19 years old. It's brittle plastic. I'm not surprised it failed. I would have just never thought to do that preventatively. So that's why that happened. And so that kind of makes sense. There were no skid marks. That explains why I didn't hit the brakes, because the wheel was turning. If you've ever tried to turn your car with if you own these types of BMWs, if you ever tried to steer the car with ignition off, you can feel like it's got some weight just from the pressure of fluid not flowing through the pump. It's like the wheel turns, you just can't turn it at normal speed. It requires much more effort. So the wheel was turning, so in my mind I wasn't registering steering isn't working. So I didn't hit the brakes, and then I didn't feel like I was going too fast, so another reason I didn't hit the brakes, and the wheel wasn't locked straight, so I didn't hit the brakes. For 2 weeks after, I was scared to even drive. I definitely had PTSD, and my first time driving, my heart rate was just super high. I didn't trust like my braking distances or anything, because yeah, it was pretty scary. Thankfully nobody was hurt. My passenger had less scars than I did. It was only our right knees. Don't know why not our lefts. I still have a little bit of scar because the medical care I received was rather poor when the ambulance came. To those of you who don't understand, this was going to be my forever car, so this is especially hard for me. I expected to keep that car forever. A lot of it was freshly rebuilt, so I'm not too worried about that. But straight up, like, I needed a car. If you don't know, I run my own business locally. I go to clients and stuff. I needed a car. So hopped on Craigslist the day after, I remember. So I kept hunting and hunting and hunting. So yeah. And yeah, I try not to get too sad about the car. Obviously I am devastated, but at the end of the day, life moves forward. I'm not gonna let this little hiccup, stop my entire life. So I did get a new car. Her name is Mia. I want you to be nice to her. She's a good girl. Got her for a good deal. And here she is. So this is the new car. It is a 2001 BMW 330. Pretty well kept. The only body damage is this. Which I'll be honest, I did parallel parking. I was parallel parking into a spot and I didn't realize the spot got thinner in the back, so I misjudged it when I was, trying to gauge how far in I was by looking at the side, because the side next to me was more out than the side in the rear. So extremely minor. Looks like I could even just fill that in, and if not, M-Tech bumpers are there for people like me. And the last piece of body damage is right here. Aside from that, the car is clean. Issue-wise, the sunroof top doesn't work. Obviously just gonna fix that. The oil level sensor doesn't work. On the next oil change, Mia will get Sophia's oil level sensor, because I recently replaced it on that. What else is mechanically wrong? The diff bushings are definitely due to get redone. But aside from that, the car is good. So things I've done since then, these were smoked out. If you want smoked corners, I got them for you. Probably 25 shipped. I think that's a fair price for both. And if it's not, I'll double check. So I replaced those. And then this one was smoked. This one was not. So just made sure they matched. I've owned this thing for a little over a month. I've just, really wanted to make sure with Sophia. It took me a while to even be willing to go up to the car and investigate it and such, because the car means so much. There's so much emotions, so many pent up emotions with that car. I still love her so much. It's sad that she has to go. As you can see, I've already got my M3 seats in. Huge thanks to Sean for cleaning them up. They definitely had, well, that's my client's, but they had dirt from the incident, and got my M wheel, obviously. There was an awful security system in here. It's been ripped out since then. I got my little Bluetooth temporarily in here. Same thing with this. Gonna integrate them a little bit more once I find the vision I'm going for with this car. I've also done all my programming. The alarm's been moved over. I moved over my Z4M control arm bushings. But yeah, so this is the new car. We're not gonna get hung up on losing Sophia. It's definitely sad. She will always stay in my heart 100%. But we gotta move forward. There's no point getting stuck in the past and getting stuck on, oh, woe's me, that sucks. We move forward 100%. No reason to get stuck. So we're gonna move forward. I'm actually about to go do another video for you guys of me teaching you how to take good photos. Thank you so much for all of you sticking with me. Thank you for understanding. I'm sure most of you will understand. Obviously this has been very, very hard for me. I needed to wait this long. It's been about a month. I needed to wait this long to kind of emotionally come to terms with what happened, to fully investigate Sophia, to make sure, I actually found out nearly by accident that it was indeed the steering, and it kind of lined up with everything I was saying. We told the officers there were no skid marks, and for if I was going too fast, it would have understeered into oblivion or oversteered. We got neither of that. And as my passenger said, it was like he was steering, but the car wasn't turning. It all really lines up, so honestly, it makes sense to me. But yeah, we're just gonna move forward. So anyway, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Sub if you want to see where we're gonna take this car, or if you want some parts from my old car, or if you want to learn how to do photos, or if you have your own car that you'd like to have sponsored on this channel. We're gonna start doing videos. I have one coming up very soon, like little spotlight videos on viewers' rides. So if you want to be a part of that, send me an email at this email right here, and I'll see you guys when we take photos. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.